You're watching Pulse for the 19th of September, and it's time for some World of Warcraft news. In this week's episode, we take a look at the recent World of Warcraft press event and all the patch 4.3 related information that came with it, some more patch 4.2 hotfixes, a couple of extra tier previews and retrospectives, and more. Let's get started. So the last couple of days brought us some unexpectedly cool World of Warcraft news and information to salivate over. Blizzard Entertainment held a press event a couple of days ago to reveal details on the upcoming World of Warcraft Cataclysm patch 4.3. Now, while we were told we would be treated with at least some good stuff, instead we got a ton of absolutely amazing information about patch 4.3 and all it's set to entail. So let's jump straight into what was revealed. I will mention before starting, however, that most of the information was given to us via interviews conducted with the devs, Ghostcrawler and the likes, and you can obviously find those full interviews linked below if you're keen to read them yourselves. So, the guys from over at MMO Champion, Wowhead and Joystick summarized it all nicely for us, so big thanks to them for doing that, and let's have a look at it. The first new 5-man is called End Time, and it features Nosdormu. In it, he'll apparently show players the future. He'll show them what will happen if Deathwing wins and gets away with everything he's got planned. The second new 5-man is the Well of Eternity, and it's a journey into the past, to the War of the Ancients specifically, to help Thrall recover the Dragonsoul to use against Deathwing. The third and final 5-man is called the Hour of Twilight, and this one is in the present day. Players will escort Thrall to the Wormrest Temple where the final battle against Deathwing will take place. The new raid is apparently called Dragonsoul. We don't know much about it, but we do know it contains 8 bosses, and boss numbers 7 and 8 are both Deathwing. Deathwing will only drop weapons, and players will have the opportunity to pick up a mount reward for killing Deathwing. In the interviews linked below, you can find more information about pretty much all the bosses in the instance, and a little bit more about the lore behind it, but I'm not going to cover it all here right now. I'll leave that up to you to explore. We did actually know a little bit about the raid before, and I was under the impression we might well be seeing Deathwing more than just twice, but I think we're going to have to wait and see how it actually plays out. I'm pretty sure they're going to be testing this on the PTR soon. It does sound quite exciting. Then in another pretty exciting piece of information, the next legendary weapon, or weapons, are a set of daggers for rogues. The Fangs of Father. Apparently the storyline of the daggers is actually continuing the plot of Badlands' uncorrupted Black Dragon Egg. The egg will hatch into a new character described as the Black Dragon Prince, and he offers the legendary quest to players, rogues specifically. All we know is that the quest will be very time and gold consuming, it will involve killing some evil dragons, and it will be very difficult to do. Then we were just told that the Looking for Raid feature probably won't share lockout with normal and heroic raids. Looking for Raid gear will be stronger than the new 5-man heroics, but weaker than normal raids. Melee classes will be getting a buff that's only active in the new raid to help them compete with the ranged classes. Epic gems will drop in the new raid. And lastly, leveling in Northrend will require 2/3 of the experience it does now, making leveling alts a little bit easier. So that is all sounding really good, and you can see that the focus of patch 4.3 is most definitely our hero's final battle against Deathwing. I think patch 4.3 is indeed going to be an amazing experience, and I think Blizzard needs something like this. They need something as big as this to keep players happy and hooked to WoW. As I said before, with so many big betas starting in the next couple of months and so many big MMOs possibly coming out, they really need to keep their subscriber base playing and keep them happy too. One quick extra mention, apparently Deathwing's random zone burning will continue at least until the end of patch 4.3, so that's pretty good news. Then what I see as pretty much the most interesting part of all these interviews, the guys from over at The Escapist managed to squeeze this out of Blizzard. Apparently Blizzard are going to be talking about the next expansion at BlizzCon, and it might well have something to do with pandas. So that is pretty exciting, and I can't wait to hear more about it. As I said before, you can find all the full interviews linked below, and I will say again that it's well worth checking them out. Now a quick mention that on the 14th of September there were a couple of patch 4.2 hotfixes. Nothing super special here. There were a couple of dungeon and raid fixes to the Deadmines and Firelands, then a few items were changed and a couple of quests and creatures were sorted out too. As I said, nothing special, but you can find the full list of hotfixes below. So now tying in with these hotfixes, apparently there are going to be some Firelands changes coming soon for both normal and heroic modes. This is much like they did with the previous raids. They pretty much just do it to help all the players that haven't seen the entire encounter or all the bosses yet to see it all before the next patch comes out, or I suppose before the next patch hits the PTR. I personally think that they did in fact wait long enough to do this, and it might just shine more hope on the fact that we'll see patch 4.3 on the PTR sooner rather than later. You can read more about this below, and apparently we're going to be seeing these changes hitting the servers starting this week, so stay tuned for more on that. Now, as we had last week, we've got a couple more tier 13 previews and visual retrospectives this week. This time around we're looking at the mage, the druid and the shaman. The major set is called the Time Lord Regalia, and in my opinion it does look pretty cool. I like the colors, but I'm not quite sure about those goggles. The druid set is called the Deep Earth Vestments, and it has what looks like mushrooms on its shoulder pads and helmet. The shamans out there have the Spirit Walker's vestments, and they are looking quite badass indeed. So if you're interested in those sets, you can check them out in full size below, and be sure to check out the retrospectives as well. It's always cool to see how the armor design has evolved over the years. What do you guys think? Are they getting better or worse? Do you like these new sets more than you like the old ones? I think a lot of people are voting for the latter. They really are attached to their old sets, but hey, that just means patch 4.3 and transmogrification is going to be a lot more exciting for them. Now let's check out the World of Warcraft Smalls. First up in the Smalls, over at the official site, a day that comes but once a year. Yes, you all know what that is. Then the guys and girls from Blizzard Customer Support now have a YouTube channel up. It's called Blizzard Tutorial, and it'll most definitely help those out looking to protect and secure their accounts. Then you can see some Blizzard art gallery updates. The BlizzCon online store pre-sale for attendees has begun. The World of Warcraft Wolfheart novel is now available. The World of Warcraft magazine has ceased publication. You can watch a quick video from Chris Metzen about how to get a job in the video game industry as a writer. Then lastly, you can see two guides from the guys and girls over at Wowhead. The one is about Pirates Day, which is in fact today, and the other a guide to farming vanilla raids. That is sadly all the World of Warcraft news I have for you this week. You can check out a couple of extra blue posts below if you're interested, and next week I'm quite sure we're going to have an overflow of patch 4.3 goodness, so be sure to check back here for that. Most importantly though, happy World of Warcraft press event.